What is up, guys? How's everybody doing today? It's your boy Cheeseball here once again. Um, I wanted to make a different kind of video today. You hear that a lot in a lot of YouTube channels. It's funny. But today I wanted to talk about living in the moment, and that's something that a lot of us struggle with. Well, specifically me, but I've been watching a lot of different videos, vlogs, YouTube channels, and even just podcasts of people just talking about the distractions, the noise, stimulation, overstimulated on dopamine, and always seeking the next high, not necessarily drugs, but also drugs are bad, but more so overstimulation of anything and everything and not living in the moment. And some of the negative effects of not living in the moment could honestly be, for instance, anxiety, which leads to depression, burnout, which leads to fatigue, frustration because you're not able to get errands done, or bitterness, and which eventually just leads to long-term suffering. There's a line in Star Wars by Master Yoda, who's a Jedi Master, and he's talking to Anakin Skywalker at the time, and he's trying to warn him because Yoda is seeing that Anakin is slowly starting to go down towards the path of the dark side, and Yoda tells him, fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. And actually, funny enough, when we were still together, my daughter's mom used to drive home a lot that actions have reactions, effects have causes, and every single decision we make has a consequence or has a reaction, has an effect, whether good or bad. And then those effects also have their own further effects, and those effects become causes as well, and it just continues. But I ain't sure which one. So living in the moment is important because it prevents a lot of that. And you start by prayer. Talking to God and praying to God usually honestly ends up changing the person before it wills things into existence. Now, God does perform miracles, but usually it's meant to change the posture of our hearts. And it actually organizes you. And in a very practical sense, it also sets before you all the things that you can reasonably do in that time or in that day, and the things that you can't. And then the things that you can't get done, you lay it at the feet of God, and then you forget about it. Not completely, but maybe you write it down in a journal so that you come back to it the next day or whenever you're able to do it, whether that's running a certain errand that you can't run because it's Saturday, or making a payment online of some sort until you get paid because you haven't gotten paid yet. Things like that. And it just puts everything in front of you as well with the help of the Lord so that you can see everything in a more structured sense so that you're able to carry about your day-to-day. And I'm not trying to be super thorough or in-depth in this video with every single reason why you should practice mindfulness, but I think another big one and important one that I wanted to touch on is memories. This is what I mean by memories. What I mean by that is that you're going to want to have good memories to hold on to get you through days, but also just because I think that's what God wanted for us, to make memories, to not just experience it, but you actually remember more when you're living in the moment. You remember more of those great, wonderful memories of playing with your kid outside, playing pretend doctor. You remember those piggyback rides that you give them. You don't remember being on your phone while they play or planning on paying this bill or that bill while they're doing this or while your family's doing that. Or you don't exactly remember all the times that you were daydreaming while everyone else was having a nice conversation at a Mexican restaurant, for instance. Now, hear me out. I'm not trying to brand work as a negative thing. I think it's important to get things done when you have to get them done. And there's a time to worry, but then there's a time to relax, to just be at peace, and to just be in the moment and live in the moment and not worry about tomorrow. The Lord said Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow's got enough problems for itself, like do the bees and the birds. They don't worry about what's going to happen tomorrow, and they still get provided for. Do I not still provide for them? So, and surprisingly, I actually think we're more productive when we live in the moment, because then we can actually take care of all the things that we wouldn't have noticed because our mind was somewhere else. Anyway, it's your boy Levi JD here, Cheese Ball, to my fellow Cheese Puffs. Honestly, it's been a great time, and I'm learning this myself as well. This video is mostly for myself, but I'm hoping that this can help other people too. But hope you all have a wonderful day. Peace.